Last time on D&D, you guys left the good town of Silver Lake and headed with Enoch towards the forest. You encountered a pack of dire wolves and a stone golem that you accidentally woke up by Ramvik landing on it. And luckily Enoch was with you and was able to banish it while you guys finished off the wolves and then left the area. And then you got to a tower that was kind of the goal of why you're here in the woods. You encountered an old woman who a couple of you had met prior on the banks across from Misty Fish, I believe, as you guys were there. But she was on the forest side of the river. So you guys talked to her, and she seems interesting. And basically, she asked you, in order to get into the tower, I would like to ask a favor of you guys, and basically, please go to the garden that has not been tended in a while, and I need you to get some seed pods from the giant plant that is in there. And basically she wanted to have a word with Enoch while you guys are doing that. So we'll just go ahead and go straight to the map here. We're at the garden. You can see there's a big plant over here. All these little guys, these are like little... you guys are coming in from this side here on the left, this path on the left-hand side of the map. You see there's these little like shrubby guys that are walking around, and it looks like they're trying to tend to the garden. Like, you know, they're clipping leaves and stuff from these rose bushes and like doing stuff with the plants and things like that. But they're just, you know, these little... they're basically like little awakened shrubs that are just kind of walking around all semi-aimlessly. But they seem to be trying to do something. But as you can see, the garden is very overgrown. There's vines ripping through benches and through the pavement and all that stuff. And there's this nice little lake up here, or pond, I suppose. It's not a lake, it's a pond. And this is where you guys enter in. I am going to... Let's do this. There we go. We got a screen recording here. And I'm just going to ping. Okay. All right. So basically, at this point, these shrubs are just kind of wandering around. They don't seem to be really paying much attention to you as you guys walk into this area.
I would like to walk up and greet one of the shrubs.
Okay. It is currently, it looks like it's trimming this bush, this plant of some sort. It's just kind of there working.
Greetings.
It continues to do its work.
I give my team the all clear nod.
Anybody actually know what the seed pods look like?
Aren't we supposed to get them from this giant bulb?
Does anybody know what a giant bulb actually looks like?
I point in this. Canary
I'll
in the
start
cave.
flooding over there.
Okay.
You go, Rambic.
Okay. So you fly over. All right. What's everyone else doing? We're just doing kind of like a soft initiative, so people can move around. At the same
Unless I've
time.
already taken my turn, I'll guess I could walk like cautiously in that direction, still trying to stick close to the party, so I'd probably make it half. Be like,
Okay. So as you cross over, actually give me. Actually, I'm
And
gonna make a roll.
I'll keep
As
my
you
hands
cross-
on my
as-
weapons too, in
Yep.
case.
As you cross over these vines here, I'm gonna make a roll.
Shit.
Damn.
It is 46, drop lowest 6 times. I'm gonna need you to take these numbers and
Let's see.
What is your...
Okay. As you
Great.
step over those vines,
It misses.
the vine, as you kind of step over it, the vines kind of lurch up and attempt to grapple your leg. So, I assume a 12 misses.
Yes.
Actually, I guess it would be a surprise. I think a 15 also misses you, though, right?
Yes.
So, basically, as you step over, the vines like shoot up and try to like wrap around your foot, and you just, you pull it over the line or whatever,
Mhm.
and then the vines settle back down. And you can see that they're like, the vines kind of like writhe a little bit up through the dirt. And it seems like there's like what almost seems like, actually give me perception.
Oh, good.
Anybody who is here, I guess you would see probably this happen if you're.
Did I see it?
You did not. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Dude,
Yay,
There we
Berthold!
go. Bertold, as you see this happen, everybody else is kind of probably looking at Kaovis, and Rambic is obviously.
You just need glasses or something?
Samus is usually pretty good at perception.
Okay.
So,
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually rolled better than Brian.
Yeah, I
but-
rolled a 2.
yeah.
Bertold, you see as the vines kind of settle back down, it almost seems like there's like a pulse that travels up the vines through the garden back up to the seed bulb, or the bulb here.
Don't like that.
Be on guard, friends. This garden seems hostile.
So at this point, I'm gonna have people roll initiative just to have a tracker for now.
Oh, we
Sorry.
should have. Wait, don't. Oh,
Oh.
never mind. It was
Yeah.
paying attention. Okay.
Why?
Oh my god!
I'm
I
like,
am
my
sorry.
God.
People are still on the other thing.
I can clear it if you want.
Okay. Yeah, you just have to.
The top 3 are the new ones, I believe. So
Okay, we can get rid of these. Let's see. That's
it's from
this.
this
No, the
encounter.
5.6 is that one.
So I can just do
That's a 14. This is the old one. Enoch's not here.
Hey.
You deleted Rampic.
Also, I don't
Yeah,
know if
I
it's just
know
me, but Horrid, Samus, and Berthold's health
Oh
are
my
like
gosh.
really low on my
I only deleted the
Me
characters
too.
from a previous map. I didn't delete anything from the garden. I didn't.
Well,
actually
you
go.
deleted 3/5 of the characters on the turn order.
I think because as you were deleting stuff and I was trying to remove stuff from the tracker, when I would click the delete button, it shifted.
How about now?
Oh, I understand. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, now your health is better, Brian.
Okay.
Updated my token.
Sorry. Feel free to.
How did you do that? Did you just pull it out again or something?
I have an extension for Firefox called VTT Enhancement Suite, which Gabe showed me, and it adds a new tab on your character sheet called Token Editor that lets me set. It doesn't let you change the default for the token, but it lets you set it up so that one of your bars is equivalent to your HP, and then there's an Update All Tokens button that just makes it so that the token you have out is updated to those settings.
Is there a way to roll like a hidden initiative?
If we cannot
Put it
see
in the
the
tracker.
creature, then we cannot see the initiative either. In terms of it being on the
I was just gonna make
DM
one
layer.
rule.
Yeah, DM
Okay.
layer.
Oh, if something's on the DM layer, you won't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's just like in darkness, we can still see the initiative, but it's on the GM layer, we can't see it at all.
Which
Okay.
is why it's good practice to put creatures that we can't see because of darkness onto the GM layer as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry. Is everybody? We need to add Tommy back in. Tommy, just roll initiative again, and then we'll edit it back to 17. 17.
Oh, do I need to do that?
Yeah. I think we accidentally deleted yours.
Yeah, now I roll a 9.
5.16. Sending. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the shrubs and the other thing. Okay. Okay, so basically at this point, so Tora, just kind of start us off with however you, based on what has happened thus far, just continue what you guys would be doing with your turn.
Oh, I guess I would have. I'd be. What's that? I would have moved from. Thor?
Or
Are you done?
Yeah,
I
sorry.
thought you were. Sorry.
No, my bad.
I. Sorry. The thing I misunderstood you. Kaovis was said something.
Oh, I had just said that this garden seems hostile because I moved here and the vines tried to grab me. But like other than that, I didn't see anything, so like it doesn't seem like aggressive to me yet, so I just moved up here. Continue.
Okay. There's these vines on this path. I guess I would just.
I assume everyone saw the vines try to grab me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would try to see if I could leap over these vines, maybe.
Sure.
I think I would try not to solve everything with combat. Would that be acrobatics to jump?
I think it's athletics.
Athletics.
You also, yeah, you're
Yeah.
fine. You can hop 5 feet over the vines.
You can cover a number of feet up to your strength score, not modifier, without having to roll shit.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
And
So you
then
can just
you can do athletics if you're trying to do something fancy with jumping. Or acrobatics if you're landing in difficult terrain or some shit.
Guess I'll try to
With a
stand
roll of
between.
15, can he front flip over? Now that would be acrobatics.
that would be
That would
acrobatics.
be
Be like Tyrion in like the second chapter of Game of Thrones. All right, I'll stand between this dude and Kaovis.
Okay.
I'll just ready my warhammer or my trident, and that's it.
Okay. Then let's see. This. Okay, this thing is going to. It's Berthold's turn. That's what's
Yep.
happening.
I'm gonna also jump over this. go over
Okay.
here, and I'm just gonna bonus action with eye for detail perception check
BRB.
Yep.
to see if there's anything hiding. Is
Oh,
there anything
sure.
hiding?
Let me see. I think this. As far as you can tell, you just see there's the giant plant and then all these little ones that are walking around.
Okay. I will use the hide action then.
Okie dokie.
I don't hide very well.
You tuck it behind into the rose bush.
With your tail wagging. Wait.
Yeah. You tuck into the rose bush and then a thorn like hits you and you're like, ow.
Ow.
All right, if that's your turn, Ramvik.
All right, so I'm supposed to gather seed pods. I have -1 to nature. I have -1 to wisdom. I don't know what seed pods are, but I have been told it has something to do with this bulb. So I'm going to fly the rest of the way to the bulb.
Okay.
Swan dive
as you
into this into this opening at the top of it to go
Okay.
fully inside and try to grab plant balls.
I feel partially
Okay.
responsible for this.
As you basically get to the lips of the pod, it has readied an action to and this thing is going to move to the token layer. And it's basically going to
Please,
it's good-
Seymour?
yes, correct. It's going to open up and basically try to bite you because you're right next to it.
Does it have advantage because I'm trying to swan dive into those lips?
I think it probably would. Well, that's a crit.
Yeah.
So that's 33 piercing damage, and you are grappled.
But do I see any plant balls?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch in here.
Hell yeah.
So it is. Wow, that crit is really good.
Ramvik is a core member of our team, and we couldn't do any investigation without him.
Yeah, you're right. He's a core member of our team because he's the one who will charge in and do stupid shit.
It's going to use it since it has readied it. I guess if something has multi-attack and it readies an action, okay, it cannot do that. Okay. That makes sense because then you couldn't like action surge or do other crazy stuff like that or extra attack. Okay, so yeah, so basically you guys see Ramvik like dive into it and it basically opens up and goes like a big fly trap just claps down on him, and you can obviously see that this thing is hostile now. So that was your move. You are currently
poison
grappled.
ivy.
All right. Interesting.
So you are currently grappled by this thing.
Who could have known something bad would have happened? I will giant rage.
Okay. Roar.
So
So you see the thing like push out a bit. Well, I guess if you become large, does that break the grapple if it grapples something medium or smaller?
Probably.
Probably.
I go back to
Either
50?
that or it would force you to not grow.
There we go.
Yeah, in this case, my instinct would be you grow. It doesn't say it can't prevent you from growing, and it can't grapple
Basically,
something larger
you-
than
you get-
medium.
So you become large size, and it kind of like its mouth opens and like, I'd say like shoulders up pop out of the top of it, or it it pushes the fly trap mouth part apart. So you're not grappled, but you are like in it. This thing is huge size.
All right. So I'm not
Assuming you
grappled.
Can, yeah, assuming you can do that while restrained, I don't think there's anything.
I can
wrong.
rage
Can't do
while
that.
restrained. Activating giant rage only makes you large if there's enough room for you to increase your size. So,
Okay.
Interesting. Does that mean? I mean,
I'ma hit it.
It's enough room.
Yep.
Because
Yep.
the monster doesn't count as a constricting space, right? So.
Correct. He basically gets bit when he grows. He pushes the mouth apart, basically. So
Okay.
yeah,
So he's
give
just
it a whack.
gross now. Got it.
Nice crit. The 9 will miss.
Oh, I'm raging. So that's 2 more. 17 damage.
17. Tim, were you able to track the health,
Can-
please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Am I able to scoop up some seed pods?
I guess if
How much did you do?
17
I guess that'd be item
damage.
I guess that'd be item interaction. So sure, you smash into it and then you like grab a couple that are in there.
All right.
Sure.
For the audience, Sam has allowed me to replace my last feat with mobile because the previous feat really didn't fit Ramvik very well.
It was like
Mobile-
Metal of the Dragon Wings or something.
Yeah, it
Nailed
was
it.
a very good defensive, protective with a little bit of healing feat that, like, I don't really do any of that. So, like, it was stronger, but it sure wasn't as good at running in like an idiot.
I don't really defend. That's fucking insane.
But yeah, one of the things mobile does is when I make a melee attack against a creature, I don't provoke opportunity attacks from it anymore. So I'm just gonna leave.
Okay. Yeah, so basically,
Uh,
Rimbic dives in, gets bitten, hits this thing, grabs some seed pods, and flies back out. That's what
Do you
happens.
yell
in
to
this
us?
game.
Like, do you communicate to us at all?
You can
Why?
see what just happened.
No reason. Curious.
No.
Okay.
Okay. It is now the Awakened Shrub's turn. Because this thing has aggroed, the Awakened Shrubs are going to attempt
Aggro.
to aggro, yeah. What is their move is 20 feet. So this one is gonna shamble over to Samus. 5, 10. This one is gonna shamble through the bush to Bertold. This
He's
one will
Hey,
just
I'm shambling.
yes. This one is going to attack Tommy. This one is going to shamble up to Kaovis. 5, 10, 15, 20. Let's see. You're flying, right, Gabe? I'm
Yes.
presuming. Okay, so then this 5, 10, 50. This one will just go under you. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so these guys are gonna attempt to slap you guys. And they will probably not do that well because that is these guys are very low CR. Okay, the one is gonna try to rake Samus. It got a 4.
No.
Bertold 6.
Well, no.
Torrid 2 of these, an 8 and a 3. Kaovis a 2.
Okay.
They're
was
doing
waiting
their
for it.
best. They basically kind of just walk up to you and like their little like stick arms like just kind of scrape against your guys' armor.
I'm picturing one of us just like holding them at arm's length.
Yeah.
They like out of Calvin or something.
Yep. And that is their turn. So
I don't think
Samus,
I've
go
even
ahead.
gauged that these things are aggressive yet.
Yeah, they're just they kind of just walk up to you. So maybe you think that they're just being friendly. Who knows? They kind of just clatter against your shins.
Oh, hail the violent saviors!
No.
So yeah, Samus, go ahead.
How many of these seed pods were we supposed to get?
She said, I don't think she gave you a specific number. She just said, like, grab a few. I assume... Ramvik, roll a d4 to see how many you grabbed.
3.
Okay, so you got 3.
That's
That's a few.
Yeah.
Okay, let me think this through.
boop.
I'm trying to figure out if I even want to bother fighting these things.
Just take a 5-foot step back. I'm off the map. I declare fair escape, even though warping me out before I leave his threatened range, so I don't get an op attack.
I don't know if I even care about that though.
You're also a rogue. Good bonus action.
Disengage.
Yeah, disengage.
Like a coward.
Could you light the shrub thing on fire?
I do still have
I
Molotovs
mean-
left over.
It would be excessive, but I just thought I would mention it.
I will
I
pull
mean,
out my Molotov
Oh my gosh.
and just kind of like gesture towards them and see how they react.
Okay. They...
I'm going to make an intimidate check.
Okay.
back.
Nope.
Foul beast.
They don't get
Mark
it.
Does it get any sort of bonus threatening them with fire?
Well, they don't know that it's fire. They see a glass bottle full of liquid.
Question.
Maybe-
With a rag out of
Plants
it.
see?
They do have some level of perception.
Even
I
in
think-
the real world, plants in the real world can't see, but they can like tell you're there, and these have to be able to see because otherwise, why would they even be enemies?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they have telepathic plant communication.
I mean, there could be enemies that don't see. Just have, magical awareness or some shit.
Anyways, that's a 6.
Yeah, that's a 6. I think I failed my
yeah,
intimidate.
It just kind of like it gives no like indication that it understands that you're threatening it.
All right, are we going to call that an action, or can I take a more traditional form of intimidation with violence?
Tradition.
Sure, you can use them all up if that's what you want to do.
No, I'm just going to shoot it with my hand crossbow. I don't actually want to light the forest on fire.
Okay.
It would be very rude to destroy this
That
nice
will
lady's
hit.
garden for literally no reason.
7 damage.
How much health? Okay, it's still alive. Shocking. There's an arrow sticking out of it. It's like, ow. Why would you do that? Yeah, that's its turn. Or that's your turn, I presume.
Yes, that's my turn.
Okay, Kaevis. This thing has tried to scratch your shins.
I did not feel it or notice it walk up. I see Ramvik flying back, and I'll say, "Did you get them?"
I don't know. I got some kind of plant ball.
I'm gonna briefly glance at the rest of my team and see if how they react to what Ramvik said. Do Berthold or Torrid react to what Ramvik said?
I think at this point
Smile
it's like we should just get rid of the big thing.
Hey,
Okay.
what'd I do to
No.
you?
Sorry, the huge thing, not the big thing. You're the large size. I'm talking the huge size.
Why would you want to destroy this nice lady's garden?
How you feeling after that chomp?
I don't see how that's relevant. You think that thing can walk?
Anyway, I think that's enough talking as a free action for
Just
me.
that.
Fair enough.
Well, since I think Ramvik did pretty much say he got something, yeah. I mean, like, if the plant's just sitting there, I don't see any reason to approach it right now. So I'll turn around. Oh, and now I see the plant. I guess how would I react?
It's up to you. There's a plant.
I'll just awkwardly scoot around it and then just try and leave, I guess. So that would be, how far could I make it? I can make it there. Yeah, I'll just fucking leave, I guess. But I'll try and jump over the vines. What did you guys say that like you could jump without testing for how?
Up to your
If-
strength score in distance.
Yeah.
If you have 10 feet of movement before the jump, you can jump up to your strength score, basically for free.
Up to my, okay, so not the
I'll-
modifier, the full.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
full score.
Oh, okay.
So like minimum, anyone can do at least 5 if they're a player character, basically.
Okay, I'll move here and then I'll just move over this way. Normally, the safe thing would be to disengage, but I don't
Yeah.
actually clock this thing as a threat.
It will,
so.
it will attempt to
Just
op
gonna
attack
move.
you as you walk by. You got a
Yeah.
7.
I
So
don't feel
basically,
it.
it's like little sticky arms, like they like reach out at you while you walk by. You just kind of like walk past it.
Yeah, and all, let's see, I'll just move here. Then, yeah, I can't really think of what else I would do with I guess I'll ready an action just to be cautious in case something else jumps out of the brush. I'll ready maybe like a dodge action, because I'm not really clocking any.
That's just called using the dodge action.
Oh, yeah, I'll use the dodge action, sorry.
Yeah.
What does that do again? Remind me.
Disadvantage on melee attacks or something like that.
Yeah, other things have disadvantage trying to hit you.
Yeah.
I'll just do that.
It's an incredibly underrated effect if you can't do anything.
You
Because
also
I would just
make
be like normally
dexterity.
cautious.
You also make dexterity saving throws with advantage.
That is useful.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's use defend.
Yep, that's my turn.
Okay. Torrid.
Probably just try to shove this dude.
Okay. Give me an athletics check.
All right.
You punt this thing.
Oh, I thought that was Tommy's roll. I was like, what?
And I'm trying to find if I get a bonus attack, would I be able to shove the other dude, or is that like a once per
Aren't
turn?
Sure. You know,
All right,
Yeah.
I'll shove that dude too.
you can extra attack to shove the other one. That's funny to me.
I don't really want to
This
hurt him.
one. Yeah, you shove this one away.
It's like opening doors in Dark Souls. You just both hands.
Just push
Yeah,
it
I'll
away.
just-
I don't know what the push range is. I guess is it based on
5.
how much you succeed by? Is it just 5? Okay. Jeez.
Yeah. You can either push them 5 back or knock them prone.
Unlock him prone. If I can.
It replaces one of the attacks of your attack action, and
I
you
thought
can
so.
do it multiple times per attack action.
You said you're knocking them prone, Tommy.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, just
Instead of
Well-
pushing them 5 feet back? Alright.
yeah, if they're
hand.
prone, that's like
But yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this one has already made its op attack,
Oh,
so
wait,
that's
that's
yep.
probably not great.
That's that.
How about that?
Okay. That is Torrid's turn. The big plant's turn. Ramvik, how high in the air are you?
How tall is this plant?
Probably about
15.
Well, let's see. Yeah. That seems really high. Probably at least 10.
It's
'Cause
15
it's
feet
big.
across, so
Yeah. I'd say it's between 10 and... It's probably like 10 or 12 feet tall, like the peak of the bulb.
Okay. Well, I had to fly up out of its mouth,
Mhm.
so I'd be 15 to 20 feet high. Let's call it 20.
Okay. Okay, I don't think, because from the ground, I don't think it can find it. You're out of range of its vines from the ground then. You do see... that's a good question. Actually, because... Yeah, unfortunately, Torrid, since you're the closest thing to it, the vines here are going to try to grapple you.
Oh shit.
It got a 24 to hit.
Oh
is-
shit! It can hit.
You take 6 bludgeoning, and you get pulled 5, 10, 15 feet back as it rips up through the ground.
Oh, it's
Alright.
interesting that it goes straight towards it instead of following the jank-ass path.
Yeah, I thought about that, but I thought
It would take forever.
Yeah.
probably come up out of the ground. or
Basically,
something.
so imagine there's like a rip through the soil and
Yeah.
stuff as it pulls you back, and then basically it did that, and then it's going to, let's see, because Bertold, because you are by these flowers, it is going to try to pollen puff you, so I need you to make a con save, please. As you see the flowers kind of like tilt towards you, and just this puff of like pollen sprays all over you.
Yep. Con save.
Okay, you are fine. You like hold your breath and are just like, what the? But that's its turn. So then it is now Bertold's turn.
I was debating making a insight check on if this thing was hostile to me, but I think I've gotten the picture pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think he saved you a check.
Yeah. Well, it was this thing that did that, I guess. But
Yeah, it was the bush. The
at
rose bush
this
type
point,
stuff.
I think everything's probably out to kill me other than my party members in this place.
Kill your family.
And even
Kill
then,
Your family.
Even then, yeah.
So I'm just gonna like jump over the vines to here and then run over here.
This guy will attempt to op attack you.
Neat.
no.
He got an 18.
That actually hit.
Hey!
Take 0 slashing damage.
What's the fuck?
It's
Minus
1d4.
one.
It's 1d4 minus 1.
He hits you in his mind.
He hits
Right.
me and I'm like, oh, that's annoying, and brush it
Yeah.
out of the way as I go.
They're doing their best, okay?
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna shoot my longbow. Honestly, probably that one.
Okay.
I think we should just get rid of the little guys for now. At least that's my
And shooting
opinion.
that one, I guess, saves Tommy an op attack if he can get out of the vines and come back this way.
Yeah. Does a 10 hit?
Yes.
It's very
That
dead.
hit-
Is it
Kill
dead?
it. You kill the shrub. It like crumples up on the ground and like a little like it makes like a very pitiful like
Yeah.
The last one is dead.
the one I deleted.
Oh, gotcha.
Which-
Never mind.
Hopefully is not the one I used, so that's good.
You probably won't need to track health for the plant things, honestly.
I have. Yeah.
One of them survived a Samus hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. I
Oh,
forgot about that.
Not
it
a
was
sneak
a hit
attack.
for, yeah, it wasn't a sneak attack, it was 7 damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also, this one is the one that has initiative on it.
Oh. Okay. Good to know.
rules. You can hover over the turn order thing to see which initiative has.
Yep.
That's pretty neat. How neat is that?
I retained knowledge that you guys told me once.
Yay!
Yay!
It's a Christmas
I did not. What was it?
miracle. Ramvik.
I am going to yell 4th time's the charm, and then dash action to go 100 feet, so I'm 30 feet off the map.
I thought you were gonna dive back and
Back
like you
into
can't.
No, if you remember at the end of last session, I brought her 3 random ass objects.
Oh.
I
That's
said, "Is this it?"
No.
Why does it change my HP back to 58 when I change my size? Alright. 25.
Okay. If that is your turn, then the shrubs are going to go. Samus, if you're still there, this one's gonna try to rake you again.
Yep, I'm still here.
It got a 20.
I'll hit.
30-20.
0 damage.
I just like look down at it.
5, 10. These are all gonna. Oh, these are prone, so they will stand up using half their movement, and then this will move 5, and this will move 10, and they're all gonna converge on Tommy because he's grappled by the big plant.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. I think the 20 hits.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Impressive.
Another wow. So
That is the
basically,
third
these things
0.
just kind of like crawl on you. Like that's really it. They just kind of like. And then it's Samus's turn. Oh, this one here.
Would it be possible for me to try and shoot the vines grabbing Tommy?
Sure.
Alright, I'm gonna try and do that. Does 23 hit?
Yep.
I would like to bonk the vines for 28 and attempt to help Tommy.
28?
Or 8, sorry, not 28.
You're not gonna sneak attack it because
Yeah.
it's
I
adjacent to
do
Tommy?
have to, okay, yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like
Roll
this...
2d6. This time for sure. Alright, so that's an additional 10 damage for 18 total.
Got it.
Nice.
I will try
Okay.
and shoot the arms the second time as a bonus action. I'm going to assume that the higher roll hits too. So that's another 9 damage.
Got it.
Yes. 19. Okay.
I got it.
That total is 27 for the turn.
Okay. It doesn't seem. Actually, I want to make a roll to see if that breaks its grapple.
Bless you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm just gonna make a roll. It does not break its grapple.
Oh.
So there's 2 arrows sticking out of it, and it growls angrily or something. Angry plant noises.
Should you roll twice because of the 2 attacks?
I was setting it as a damage threshold
Oh, gotcha.
to see if it broke.
So the 18 damage was just barely not enough, is what you're saying?
No, I rolled it was. If you do enough damage, I roll to see if it drops him. That's
Oh, okay.
But it checks at like the end of his turn.
No, when it takes damage.
Alright, well,
Okay,
I'm
moving
gonna
on.
end my turn
Yeah,
here.
it doesn't matter.
Okay. Are you just staying there then? You're not-
I don't respect this shrub.
Okay. Fair enough.
So yes, I will be staying here.
Okay. Great. Cavis, are you leaving?
I want to help my friend, but I also don't want to get stuck. So when you roll to break the grapple, is that a saving throw?
It's a skill check, not a saving throw.
You use your action to roll athletics versus DC 16. Or your choice of acrobatics or athletics versus DC 16.
I'm just seeing if Bless would do anything, which it would not.
I'm gonna go in and save the small person, like in Lord of the Rings with the tentacle monster for the Moria.
Nah.
Watcher in the water.
Yeah.
No, I might just leave. Honestly, because it's acrobatics or athletics. I was gonna say he'd have a better chance of breaking it than me, but I guess I have it. Do these vines have like a range, or does it only activate when you step over?
Unknown.
You've not determined that yet.
Can I try to determine that?
How do you
would
want to
like
determine
to
it?
use this?
How? Yeah.
You can try. How are you trying?
Not by actually walking up to them and kicking them. I meant like a skill check.
You could give me like nature.
Okay, cool.
You do not know how far-reaching these vines might be.
Natural world is one of a true mystery.
That was a skill check, so that was an action.
Are you serious?
That's how skill checks work.
I thought Samus was able to do the intimidation thing and then attack the thing. Not twice.
It did.
How did that work?
You gotta be consistent, whatever decision you have.
That's fair.
I won't mind taking back my attack on the shrub, but consistency.
Like the attack on the shrub is that meaningful.
You
In
scratch
fact,
your
I
head
think it would
about
be
the plant
funnier
shrub.
if you hadn't. You try to intimidate it and it doesn't take, and then you just ignore it.
Then I will retract the attack action for the shrub.
Okay.
Okay, well that's good to know. I guess I spent my turn standing here scratching my head.
Yay!
Well, Torrid.
Best of luck, Torrid.
Yeah, I'll just
Attempt
I'll use my move action. Leave. Well,
I'll
fuck
look
it.
at
Bye, buddy. All right,
Don't listen,
Torrid.
y'all.
Watch.
It's not worth it. Save yourselves. I'll try to
Guys,
break out.
All
You
right,
guys are
give
such
me-
good friends.
Okay, yep. You break out of the grapple.
Is that an action?
Yes.
Yes.
Breaking out of a
so
grapple is always
Now
an
you,
action.
now you can move.
And I'm assuming I was prone when I grappled me.
No.
Nope.
It-
Okay.
We're just
Didn't say
grappled.
so.
5, 10,
Yep.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. I'll leave.
Sweet.
Okay,
Okay,
all these shrubs are gonna try to rake you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We
no. Oh, no. Oh,
will,
no.
we
There's a
will
17
rape
and a
you.
19.
Yep.
Which of those hit?
The 17 and the 19.
Both.
Uh-huh.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Dude!
Oh
Whoa!
It,
Whoa! They did
it found
damage?
purchase. It found purchase.
I'm so proud.
One of them scratched my cheek as I was running, I guess.
On the way back, we're gonna find out that Tommy has an intractable poison.
Literally already dying.
Okay, so
There was malaria on that thorn.
Fortunately,
It's malaria.
okay,
So-
disease is a problem. Fortunately, dwarves have resistance to poison.
nothing's in range of this thing, so it is going to basically use its action. You see, like, kind of this pulse go through the vines to underneath this tree, and this tree starts to move. So basically, this just gets added to the initiative tracker. But you guys might just leave, so I'm gonna do this anyways. I clicked wrong. Its initiative is 1.
Wow.
So I don't know what. It's probably because the token I had selected is still on the GM layer.
That's
But yeah,
impressive.
its initiative's 1. So it's Bertold's turn.
I'm sorry for running your flight by being an idiot with wings.
All right, I'm leaving.
No, you're fine. This is
I would 100% do it again, though. Like,
Okay, so Bertold's left, Ramvik's
Actually,
left.
no. First, I'm gonna take a pot shot at the shrub next to Samus.
Okay.
And then I'm leaving.
Yeah, instead of leaving, we should all gang up on this shrub and just all take an action on it.
That shrub, I would like to say I knocked that shrub into the pond
Into the pond.
while leaving.
It's dead. It is now floating in the pond.
Yep. Bye.
Bertold woke up this morning and chose violence.
I mean, yes.
There are other ways to wake up?
What a great question. Ugh.
Alright. That was Bertold. Ramvik's off the map. These
Yeah,
shrubs
but-
can't reach me, so I'm
Yeah,
just
Leaving.
establishing that I'm leaving.
And then Torrid, I assume you're leaving. This tree will start to shamble this way, but I don't think it can reach you before you leave. So, all right, you guys have left the garden with your seed pods. Ramvik will get back first, so let's go back to our tower here. I can then stop this recording for the top end. So yeah, so you guys basically, so Ramvik, you'll get back first, obviously. So you fly over or whatever, and
Is
as
this
you come
it?
in, so you land. Yeah, two things. They're sitting there by like her cook pot or whatever, and they're both smoking. And as you land and say, "Are these it?" She says, "Oh yes, thank you so much." And she like, she'll take them from you. And then you see she takes the seed pods or whatever, and she like kind of, cracks them open on the edge of the thing and like dumps them into the cook pot or whatever, and swirls it around. And she's like, "Oh, this is gonna be great. Once this cooks up, this is gonna be great." So then, after not that much longer, the rest of you probably come back, and see this, and she's stirring the pot with Ramvik there and Enoch's there, and they're there, and she's
Enoch's
like,
just
"Oh!"
kind of inhaling smoke and like rolling his eyes back in his head and then blowing it out very slowly.
I think Bertold's gonna try and not get too close to the smoke.
Fair enough. She says, "Oh, well, since you're all back, I thank you very much for bringing me these seed pods. You can go into the tower now."
Yes, the tower. Good job, gents.
Weren't there some wards we needed opened? Gesture
For
towards.
sure. He kind of like gets up and he like stows his pipe away in his pack. All right, let's proceed.
This
All right.
smoke that I assume is permeating the air, does it smell like what does the smoke smell like?
Oh, it
Tobacco.
smells dank.
Tobacco? Okay.
Well, yeah, he's definitely smoking tobacco. You're not sure what she was smoking.
Okay. I was gonna be surprised if it was just tobacco.
It smells like good tobacco. If you are a smoker,
Alright.
I don't know if any of you guys are smokers.
No.
Not in real life. I meant the characters.
Also, no.
No.
I think Bertold views that as a unnecessary luxury that he
Or
is
probably choose
no
tobacco.
interest in.
A noble that doesn't smoke? What is this?
I might have smelled bad tobacco on the breath of thugs that I beat up.
Ah, yes.
If the dog stops barking, I will continue.
Who let the dog out?
Yeah, so
Are we gonna have to fight Frank
and yeah, as she's there or whatever, so she like, as you guys are, you know, approaching the door to the tower or whatever, she like takes a ladle out and like takes a sip of like the seed pod soup or whatever, and she's like, oh, that's that good shit. and then she like leans back in her chair and like her eyes glaze over.
I would like to do an insight check.
Yep.
How stoned is this lady?
She is tripping balls right now.
I'm just like, we should go. Well, she has her trip or whatever.
I will also go. Although, as I'm passing her, I'll say, be careful. Those seed pods came from a very dangerous plant.
Like, oh, I know it, boy.
I turn to Enoch and say, do you need to be in the proper state of mind to do magic like you would with, say, riding a horse or something? Is this okay?
You aren't a smoker, are you? He said, and then he just kind of walks up to the door.
I'm talking about the lady who's stoned out of her mind, not Enoch.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking to Enoch.
I'm asking Enoch because he's the only professed caster that I know.
Oh.
I was
And also,
originally
he
going to
has
ask
been hanging
Kaovis,
out.
but I think Kaovis would not appreciate that question.
He also has been hanging out with this woman for how long have we been away?
Honestly, not that
2,
long.
3 seconds.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Maybe a minute.
No, it wasn't that long.
He's totally fine.
It might
We
have
flew
been like
straight in and flew straight back out.
Yeah, it might have been a few minutes like walking there, but yeah.
I'm just saying, hanging out with this lady for any given amount of time, you may not be in the right state of mind, depending on what she offered you.
I had some tea. It was good. Nothing terrible in it. And
Okay. I think we
spent
should get
so
moving so that that doesn't change.
We spent
What?
so little time on that fight, I expected us to come back and catch them still in foreplay.
No, it literally looks like they just sat down and were smoking and talking while you guys were gone for like a couple minutes.
Yes. Yeah, so as you guys walk up into, through the door, it's a nice, it's a, like the tower looks like it was at one point probably like a really big tree. Like the trunk was like that thick, and it was just, it was carved out of the tree and whatnot to,
I mean, is the exterior like barky?
a little bit.
Photo of it. Yeah, or kind of what it looks like.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then, I guess Enoch, unless other people are running ahead of him, start to walk into the building.
I'm following Enoch. I don't know where these wards are.
Got it. Alright. So, you kind of, start... What's up?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, yeah, so as you walk up, like, you can see that there's a bunch of, like, runes and stuff carved into the door, but, it doesn't look like none of them are glowing, if that makes any sense. Like, it just looks like, there's some glyphs and whatever carved into the door.
Oh, and also, unless we get time for a short rest, I would cast Cure Wounds on Rambic.
Okay.
Do we get a short rest or no? We're just going in straight away.
I don't think we've rested. You guys were only gone for a couple of minutes, and then we kind of started walking in. So I don't think
You could
we have time to-
You take a short rest, potentially.
Yeah, it was
if you
more
want
addressed to the party.
I'm down. Ramek did take quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, I am definitely perceptive enough to notice that Ramvik is kind of an idiot and was blowing off how much damage he took.
My clothes have changed colors.
Yes, of course they have. Are they a bit redder now?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's called blood.
Actually,
Press X to.
Gabe, can you
Plants
give me
don't
a
have blood.
Can you give me a con save?
God damn it!
Okay.
Why is bless enabled?
Okay.
That's just a 15.
You're still fine, but the basically
You got blessed
whatever
on the
like
fourth encounter.
like obviously you're covered, you know, you have some blood on you and stuff, but you're also kind of covered in a lot of the plant matter and stuff that the seed pods had that were all of that, so I just wanted to have you roll. You're fine though. You don't feel any different than you normally do.
You aren't tripping balls. Got it.
Speaking of how we normally feel, how many days did it take to reach this tower?
Probably 3 days to get to where you enter the forest, and then you guys. This has all happened in one day.
Okay.
Yeah, that you were going into it.
So I have spent 6 mushroom rations. Got it.
And what time of day is it now?
Let's see. It might be starting to. The sun might be starting to set at this point. I don't know. You guys walked a ways through the.
We take a
Through the
long
forest.
rest then?
We'll call it mid-afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
okay.
Good afternoon. Yeah.
Is this? You said the sun's going down?
So we're conflicting.
It's
fine,
mid-afternoon.
it's whatever.
It's
Cameron
minute. Okay.
It's mid-afternoon. Yeah. So you guys. So if you take the time to take a short rest, she's just kind of gonna sit there in her chair.
Yeah,
There's
Enoch
maybe-
is actually going to walk up to the door, and he's going to take a small book out of his kind of satchel that he's carrying, and he's going to start, like, looking through the book at the symbols, kind of, like, comparing things.
Gabe, do you plan on spending any die or no?
I'll spend my last 2.
You want- could probably. The time. Oh. 12, 7, 44. Yeah, I'll still do a cure wounds, because your health is important. That's not what I'm do. Can I? Nope, that's the same thing again. Give me a second, I'll figure out how to cast it.
I don't suppose anyone knows Druidic. I don't think anybody's a druid, so.
No. I know 2
language
other
that you-
languages that start with D, but
The language that you can only take if you start as a druid in this campaign where you forbid people to start as full casters? No. No, we don't know druidic.
I do think Bertold is going to snoop a bit and ask politely, like, just some questions because he wants to know, like, so what you doing?
I'm trying to find out what language this is.
Oh, are you asking
Oh.
Enoch or Rose?
Enoch.
Okay.
I'm not asking the stoner or the rest of my party anything.
That's funny.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, I'm trying to figure out what language this is. Keeps, he's kind of like turning pages. He's just, maybe it's no. Like, look back up at it. He like puts one of his books away and he pulls out another one. And he starts flipping again. you recognize one of the books as like a common to Elvish dictionary.
I'm just gonna ask, hey Enoch, can I borrow this for a bit on the Common to Elvish dictionary?
Oh,
It's French.
I suppose, but I want it back. Those are rare.
Absolutely. I would never think of letting anything
Roll for deception!
happen to this.
We're in the elves.
Immediately Molotov it.
Are you rolling for deception on me?
It is. Just be careful with it, please.
Yes,
He hands the
I'll
book
sit
to you.
down and take a amulet out of my clothes and cross-reference some things. Sitting basically next to him while I do that.
Enoch looks over, and he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he goes back to searching for what the language could be on the door.
Yep.
It's druidic.
It's
He
I don't
does
know
not
that.
have a druidic dictionary, unfortunately.
And we don't have anyone with the appropriate magic to read it.
At the end of this all, he's like, I think this might be some form of druidic, as I don't know of any... I don't know the language, and I don't have the reference on me. I only know of one druid, and they're not here.
As he's saying that, Rose, as she's sitting there in her chair, she starts muttering something under her, like, that it's kind of hard to hear unless you're like...
Enoch, like, jumps up, and he's like, what?
She starts muttering the words to the door in, she's actually... It's interesting, she actually starts...
It's like a weird language.
Yeah, she's saying it, and then she cycles to, she actually starts speaking in Draconic.
Okay. If I start noticing that it's Draconic, I'll walk over and listen.
Okay. Do
What?
you know Draconic?
I know Draconic and Dwarvish.
Okay.
Sorry, what
Yeah.
context does she start? Is this just because she's tripping?
She heard Enoch say something about the door, and she's saying something, and she basically,
Okay.
in Draconic, she's basically gives you essentially what each of the symbols are. It's like, free, bear, whatever, like basic words or whatever, but she repeats them over and over again in the same order, basically.
I write that down as best I can in translating from Draconic to Common.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if Enoch knows Draconic, so...
Enoch understands this, or at least he seems to.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, it's a sequence, and as you look on the door, like you're like, okay, well this, if what she's saying is, it seems like it's like she'll say them in Draconic, and then she'll go back and say the same order in, whatever.
This strange language that you guys don't know.
Yeah. So she goes back and forth, and after a little bit, she just kind of stops.
Okay. I will say I have also taken the time, or gone ahead and transcribed the writings I wanted to into Common as best I can,
Okay.
and give Enoch his dictionary back as well.
So based on a prior based on the conversation that Enoch and Rose had before you guys got here, with that information, Enoch is like, "Oh, and he kind of goes over to the door or whatever, and he like touches the different things in a specific order. He might ask one of the taller members to touch one of the symbols at the top of the door.
Absolutely
After.
not.
Bertold is right there, and will Bertold is probably glued to him for this entire thing at this point, because he's like,
Okay.
"Ooh, this is something interesting."
Yeah. So basically, you hit him in a specific
Enoch
order.
senpai.
You hit them in a specific order, and then the door, you feel like a ring of dust around the comes off or whatever, and then the you see on the door kind of like it almost like knits out of the wood a door handle on the outside.
Okay.
And
1 second. Enoch goes like 1 second, and he starts to cast the spell, and he's like, his eyes kind of like glaze over, and he's like puts his hand out, and he starts to cast. He is going to look for words. And
Did he even buy an oracle?
what?
League of Legends joke. Sam got it.
All right. He like kind of comes back to himself and goes, I don't believe there are any words here. Proceed.
Is there a keyhole?
no.
I think the sequence was the key. And he
Okay.
just grabs the whole door handle.
Well, I didn't say that out loud. I'm doing the thing of like I'm trying to make sure I'm searching for like traps or whatever as much as I can.
Sure. Yeah. No. It seems like a door at this point.
Yeah.
And then Enoch is gonna enter.
You guys go in the base of the tower here. You can see that kind of along the edge of the building, like there's a big spiral staircase that goes up. And as you kind of look up the spiral or whatever, you can see that there's light coming in from the top. And then about halfway up the tower, it looks like vines have like grown in through the wall and grown up, like from the outside and whatnot. But here in the first area, it looks like there's a nice like what was. I mean, doesn't look like some stuff looks like it hasn't been touched in who knows how long. But there's like what looks to be like there's like a little fireplace. There are some there's like chairs and a table. There is a wall, like it seems like half of the wall looks like shelves of like moldering books. If you actually there's moldering books. There's like a little area that looks like it'd almost be like like a kitchen type thing, but there's like a few things that are there, like some stuff that looks like it's started to regrow, like maybe some vegetables or stuff that have probably rotted, and then something has started to grow back out of that and stuff. There might be mushrooms, but growing in here. But that seems to be what it's like here on the first floor. Looks like a kind of a cozy living space.
I'd like to quickly scan the bookshelf for anything interesting.
Sure.
Necromantic.
Give me... Yeah, spot. Okay, so give me your check. does that just happen?
It's investigation, I guess. I see nothing.
You see a lot of books, and a lot of them are really moldy, like they've been here forever.
Yeah.
I would probably help him. Can I give him a help action?
No,
Sure.
literally, this is a bonus action for me. It's not worth it.
Okay.
You can just give me an investigation check if you want.
Yeah, like, it's probably better to do that. I don't have a good investigation. I only do that because it's basically free from a character perspective.
You know what? You're right. Step aside, please.
Yeah.
So, you look at them and they all seem very nature-y.
There are even more books than Bertold realized.
Yes.
He got a 6. It's gotta be better than 3.
You realize that giant patch of moss on the wall is actually books that have, like, melded together from...
That's horrifying. Great.
You're like, oh.
Oh, then it wouldn't take me much time to be like, okay, there's nothing salvageably necromantic here.
They all seem like, yeah, it's hard to tell, but, you know, from the couple of things you can actually read, like, the edges of or whatever, it looks like, you know, there's things on, like, gardening and horticulture and, like, wildlife and druidy things.
Enoch, when he's walking around the room, he's like looking around at the walls and stuff. And he's just like, I have never seen any kind of building like this before. In all my years. He's kind of like muttering to himself.
Out of context. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say out of context, I wanted to make sure I understood. Rose didn't say she lived in this tower, right? Or did she, and she just warded up the whole place?
I think she said she hadn't been in the tower in a very long time.
Okay. Just make it. Well, yeah, you said there was bookshelf, kitchen.
And then there's
Anything
a
else?
big spiral staircase that goes
Yeah.
up to the top of the tower.
Is Enoch gonna, like, loiter here?
Wards.
Oh, but he's still searching first floor.
He's constantly searching for wards. That's why he's walking around looking around.
Yeah, I'll just stick with Enoch, because... Oh. What am I... bad. Yep, that's me.
Okay.
I would spread out. Look for things in the stone, maybe symbols, old language, anything you can find. This place is very old. It'd be interesting to find out who lived here.
But is it possible that we could accidentally trip a ward or some kind of thing if we aren't careful or don't see it or know what to look for?
I don't sense any wards on this level, as it's been like a couple minutes and he's walked all the way around the room. Well, I'm going to start moving towards the stairs now.
I will move with Enoch.
Okay.
I will look around on this floor for any text in a language that I can't read to make our crazy wizard happy. I will make an investigate check.
Sure. So other than the moldering bookshelves and stuff, you notice on like there's probably what seems to be like, I guess in like whatever the kitchen area is, and now that you're looking at it a little more closely, you realize, oh, this is kind of like it's almost like an apothecary station. It looked like they were making herbs and stuff there, and it looks like there is a book that is bound in some kind of like strange leather that seems to be not molded.
I will take the book and see if I can understand any of it. And if not, I'll probably hand it off to someone else.
So it looks like it's a good portion of it is in the same language that was on the door, but it seems like there are certain excerpts. Like it seems like there's several languages that are written in here. So eventually you come to like one that's like a really like, you know, it'd be like if someone from our time was reading like Old English.
Mm.
You know, like it's like a really old version of Common that you're reading, but you can kind of get a sense that, you know, they're saying like, you know, things that it seems like the same excerpt was written in a bunch of different languages. And it says, you know, and like, because it just seems like the formatting and whatnot of like, as you flip through a few pages, like it's the same kind of almost like block of text in a few different things, but it says, it's like, trying to finish up this concoction before I go and meet the others. Writing this in several languages in case I don't come back from this farce. Here are the ingredients for, I'm writing down the ingredients for, this, healing tonic in case, it ever becomes useful for somebody, and then it has, like, 4 or 5 ingredients on there that are written in common that all seem like things that could potentially be found in a forested area. But it, yeah. So
I was about to say, I'd like to bring this book to the smartest person in the party to see if they know where to find these herbs, and then I thought it through and I realized...
Oh yeah, I can help you find those.
That'd be me.
A second thought.
The two
Tim doesn't
stupidest
trust
people
any-
speak up immediately.
I will show it to other people so they can keep an eye out for these things, but my hopes are not particularly high.
Why didn't you say you needed more plant balls earlier? We were just there.
I don't know, Rampic. I don't know.
Meanwhile, Bertolt is like, do you think we should show this to Enoch?
As you guys are there, if the door is still open, you can hear Rose like, ha 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 ha, and she's like spinning around in circles out in the grass.
At least one of us is going ourselves.
That is, in fact, the druid we have access to.
Or
I will show it to Enoch. With no particular expectations. I will make sure to make my own copy first.
Sure. Yeah.
Just in case he decides he wants it. But
yep. So effectively, this is if you go take the time to gather the stuff and you follow the instructions to make this or whatever, it effectively is the ingredients on how to make a potion of supreme healing.
That is quite decent.
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, okay. So, eventually, Enoch gets to the spot where it gets to the stairs. There's still no wards, so he starts to ascend.
Yeah, he makes it to the second level now, I'd say.
Yeah. So as you guys get up to the second level, Enoch, it's not a ward, but there's like a weird, there's obviously some sort of magical, like, influence on this space. Because as you kind of go up to the second level, you kind of almost feel like a slight, like, shift. As you get up to the second level, you can see that the tower almost like, it's like it has widened, like, an incredible distance, and you can see here on the second level, it almost looks like there are remnants of, like, cages or, like, enclosures and stuff. Like, it looks like they're, like, if there were, like, stables, but they just seem to go for, like, almost as far as you can, like, see before, like, dark vision ends, you know, or whatever, like, if you had dark vision.
So no discernible, like, end or wall or anything.
Right, and it just seems like it's this big, almost long, like, hallway type thing. Like, it's just like a never-ending stable, and there's what seem to have been the remains of dozens of creatures.
But the enclosures themselves are still intact.
Yeah. So
And when you say remains, you're talking about, like, bones?
Yeah, like, there's
rotting
bones
flesh?
or even less than bones. Like dust or bone,
How-
you know,
how-
things like-
Even fossilized stuff.
What are
Yeah.
the size of these creatures, or does it vary?
It varies. Like, there's things from, like, you know, little things that look like maybe, you know, like a little, like, you know, like a shoulder monkey, from things that look large, as almost, you know, maybe as large as that plant that was out there. And it seems like obviously the remains have been here for a while.
And the room, I assume a circular floor outside, like, apart from these enclosures. Is this room about as big as we would expect it looking at it from the outside? Or is the room itself also big?
The room is way bigger than, like, looking at from the outside, you would think that it would be there.
Okay.
Bigger
there
on the inside? Is it the TARDIS?
Yeah,
So-
kind of. If the TARDIS was a zoo,
Are-
that's effectively
Are the
what
cells
you
occupied by anything, or
get. I mean, there are, like, remains of things in the cells, or
Mm.
enclosures or whatever. It, you know, it's like whatever.
Do any of them look like something broke out of them?
That's a good question. I'm not actually gonna make a roll.
Yeah, that was what I meant by, like, when you say remains of the enclosures. Or the enclosures.
There is one cell, or one thing that looks like something had dissolved the metal bars, and there's nothing in there.
There's no remains in that one.
Yeah,
Is that the only one without remains?
correct.
Are there any other details, like, in the room that we're standing in besides these enclosures? Is there, like, when you say stables, are like hay and shit on the ground or something? Or is it, like, a
yeah,
very
there's prob-
bland room?
Basically
Yeah.
all dirt because
Yeah.
it's all rotted.
Yeah, like there probably was, you know, maybe hay or things like that, or like if there was like bedding in there, but it seems like it's, you know, all, you know, rotted or wilted at this point. It doesn't look like there's anything that you would consider food here, but there might have been stuff.
Or, like, anything. Like, the first floor had kitchen and bookshelf. There's not even, like, containers or anything up here?
There's probably, like, you know, what looks like old, like, bags that might have had, like, you know, grain or things like that, you know, feeding stuff. But it basically looks like I said, like a zoo, or a stable. There, there's probably like, like a pitchfork, things like that, like old maybe equipment that you would expect to see in like stables or effectively like a zoo sort of a thing.
Could I throw that does that pitchfork look like I could throw it like a javelin maybe?
It's really old. It would probably break.
Are you trying to pick it up?
No. I might just like look at it.
I mean, you could throw the pitchfork, yes.
But no, you also said it was old, so never mind.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna stick with Enoch.
Okay. So that's that's the odd thing here. And then the tower, as it continues to go up, eventually it seems like it just kind of goes up for a while. Like it seemed like this section took up. Obviously there's some sort of weird magic that is like compressing and expanding space, because it seems like once you go up like one more floor, you get to like the top room, and you can see that there is glass up here, and you can see out over the top of the forest, and it does not feel like you have ascended as high as you should have. You should be, but as you kind of come up, you can see one. As you kind of come up into this room, you feel almost like a refreshed, like, feeling, because as you come up into this top room, like everything up here is like pristine and looks like untouched by the ravages of time, like everything else on the lower levels in here.
Did Enoch sense us passing through anything to get up here?
He was checking.
There weren't any like defensive wards. There was definitely some sort of like magical.
He didn't really get what it was.
Barrier. Like it didn't trip the "this is dangerous" alarm for Enoch's spell.
Sure.
It should-
I
this
I
is
also
a-
just meant like a film you pass through into this particular room, but Tim made it sound like no, that's didn't notice anything.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
Enoch didn't identify it. Like it was, he was like, I don't really understand, but it's not dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Before he moves into it.
So up here, there you can see that there's glass. In the center of the room is basically just a big telescope thing that's poking up out of the tower, which you didn't see from below, but whatever.
Now I'll look in it.
Yeah. Okay. You look up. It is. I'm gonna make a roll.
Like a periscope?
Like a telescope. Like a
Oh.
stargazing.
Observatory.
I thought you meant poking up and out.
Okay, you are not blinded. It is not looking directly into the sun.
Okay.
So yeah, you basically look through it and you can see the, you just see the sky. There's some nice clouds. It's obviously like as you look through it or whatever, like the clouds seem really close. Like it's really interesting because like, you're like, oh, that's what a cloud looks like if it was like a few inches from my face.
This might be a moot point, but like, can we note like what direction it was facing before Ramvik started using it?
I guess you can see what direction it is based on where the sun is in the sky, since it's mid-afternoon.
It would be pointing towards the east.
Okay.
The eastern sky. So, actually, it's, yeah. Yes, correct. Yes. It's big.
Big one.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
So I guess since the sun is moving. At this point, the sun is probably getting close to setting, so the sky would be a little darker there. So maybe you can start to see like the twinklies as you're looking into the sky, since the sun is on the other side of the tower. But that's there. Also up here, you can see that there is a table that has been set up with like an alchemy station. So there's like an alembic, mortar and pestle, all that good stuff. Doesn't look like there's anything in them. It looks like they've been like they're like suspiciously clean. You know, it looks like somebody bought a brand new set of this alchemy equipment and it's just set it on the desk. There's also a very nice like bed up here. And there's a desk, and there is there is sitting next to the bed on the nightstand. There is a journal.
Oh, journal. Can I take? Sorry, was someone else looking at that?
Yes. Nope. Oh. And then, yeah, as you yeah, other than that, it looks like this room is was to observe both the sky and just like the glass surrounds, like the walls are made out of glass. So like as you look out in any direction, you can see out across the forest. Yeah, it's actually kind of interesting. There are like on the windows and stuff, like the windows are like in sections, you know, as so it's not like a perfect circle, like each pane of glass, you know, so it's like, I don't know, like a 12-sided circle or whatever, dodecagon or whatever. But you notice there are little like what almost look like tassels, like is that you would pull to move like curtains back and forth. There's like tassels hanging one next to each of the windows, but you don't see any curtains or anything above them, so it just seems a little weird. But
Interesting.
If I notice the tassels, because I don't want to step on anyone's toes, I would probably, out of curiosity, I would walk up to the tassel and then like glance back at Enoch to be like, "Is this all right?" Or pulling
Enoch,
it.
he looks at what you're doing. He's like, "Let me check." And he comes up and he kind of like puts his hand up again.
Pulling an egg.
No other magic.
Pulling an egg.
Give it a tug.
All right, I give it a tug.
so, is there any specific direction you were facing?
Yeah, which cardinal direction?
Like which cardinal direction are you looking out at the window?
What direction did we come towards the tower from?
The south.
The south tassel.
So you were walking north and
Yeah.
came from the south. Yes.
Yep. Okay. So as you you kind of pull it, and as you pull it a little bit, like you see the pane of glass kind of ripples a bit, and the view you see is like, it's almost like as if you have magnified whatever is in that direction. So it seems like from that view, it seems like you're like way out over the middle of the forest, and you're seeing that. So you can see now like the river to the south, you know, kind of on the edge, and maybe like the road and stuff like that as you pull it down.
Whoever was residing here seems to have been pretty paranoid.
Enoch is like, and he'll come over to the western one, and
To the west, yeah.
and he'll pull the tassel.
So, does he pull it? If he pulls it, slowly, it shifts, and as he keeps pulling it, it keeps magnifying and magnifying and magnifying. And eventually it gets to, like, the ocean, and then if you keep pulling it where it's, like, down to, like, his level, it has zoomed out over the ocean, and you can see another tower on an island in the ocean. And
it looks very different.
yes.
How does it look different?
Like it's not made out of a tree. Like it looks like it's
Oh, sure.
a tower.
Sam, which one is that? I don't remember. Let's look up the notes real quick.
Yeah, 1 second. I think it's the white tower. This is the green tower.
Oh, okay, got it.
I believe it is the white tower.
Okay, so it's very white.
Yeah, it looks like it's made out of, like ivory or alabaster or something like that. Like it's like really, really white.
But I guess height is hard to gauge here, but the height and like the general exterior seems similar to this tower?
Kind of. I mean, this one, it looks very sleek and like designed, where this one looks like it was hewn out of a tree. But it's hard to gauge like if it's taller or wider or whatnot, but it's definitely magical looking. And then if you let the
He lets the rope go.
Yep, if you let the rope go, it zooms back out, and you just see that.
Enoch takes a little book out and starts scribbling.
I would probably check the other tassels too.
Yeah.
East and north, especially east.
Okay. So north.
North.
Yeah, if you do north.
That's where the necromancer was.
And for necromancy.
So for north, eventually you get up past, like if you go all the way down, it goes past the mountains into the tundra, and you see there's a red tower that's jutting out where that it looks like there's almost a what there seems to be maybe almost like a volcanic activity up in the tundra somewhere that you didn't even know maybe there was anything up past the mountains.
Snow volcano.
Yeah. But there's a red tower that looks like it's like maybe made out of like obsidian, but it has like these red like highlights in the rock. So like the rock itself is made, it's like this shiny, almost like yeah, I don't, it's hard to describe. Like if obsidian had a red tint to it, so like this glassy red, like dark red thing. And then if you go all the way to the east, you see it goes across Black Veil. Okay.
What happened?
Give me a second.
Very fuse.
Yeah, well, that one will be a different position.
Okay, gotcha.
I think. So the one directly to the east, like it goes out. You see the Capitol, and then you see the wall, and then you see past the wall. There's just this sprawling stretch of gross black, like
Purple, black,
purple,
it's oozing
like mass of basically blight that it goes for a while, and then you can see that there is this like cerulean tower that has been like covered in this stuff, but you can see like there's parts of the tower that are like this kind of bright, almost like this blue. It almost looks ethereal, like sort of a thing, and it goes all the way out. And then one of the last window is there's one. I guess it's
like on the roof almost.
Yeah, it's like on the roof, which is interesting, but because the roof is almost like mirrored slightly. Like the glass isn't fully transparent. Like if you look at the roof or whatever, like you can see a little bit of your reflection. But there's a tassel kind of like hanging down from one. And if you look at that one, you can see it almost is like it's zooming down underground, because like you can see it and you can see like a cave, and eventually it goes down and you can see basically this cavernous and then you can see on the ceiling of this giant cavern is a tower that has been built down out of like the stalactites on the ceiling and the rock face, and it's like the point of it or whatever is like sitting above this massive underground lake, and it's made out of this like black rock, this dark underground rock, and those are the other towers that you see.
Did the south window showed us the tower that we were currently at, or just showed us somewhere in the middle of the forest?
The south one was the first one you did say.
Yeah.
Right? Or no, the south one you didn't actually pull it all the way down, I don't think. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I guess the south one, I guess there wouldn't really be one that direction. So it eventually, like, you can eventually, if you pull it all the way down, you can go past the river, past, keep going south, and then you eventually get to where there's like grassland, and then you can get past to where like you can almost see like there's like marauding bands of orcs, and then you get to like the southern sea eventually. You pull it all the way down, which you didn't really know. You didn't know that there was a sea all the way down to the south, because nobody really goes down past Blackvale, because that's where all of the half-breeds get exiled.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that we're reorienting ourselves. I had always thought that Blackvale would...
Blackvale is to like the east and kind of south of Storm Harbor.
Mostly east.
Mostly.
But then
east.
the wall is to the...
The wall is
as
to
well?
the east. The wall is
Okay.
to the east of Blackvale. And the other human kingdom. It's basically Storm Harbor is on the west, and then there's like east and south is Blackvale, and then east and north is the third human kingdom, whose name escapes me.
Where Morgold came from.
Yes. And then east of
Borealis.
both of those is the wall.
Borealis, yeah. There you go.
Yes. Borealis. Thank you.
Borealis.
Aurora Borealis! Can I see it?
Sorry, Sam, what were you saying?
So yes, so that's what those are. Enoch is feverishly taking notes.
Is who else is up on the floor here with us? On the top floor?
I assume everyone came up, but
Because I was gonna ask if any, like, who could identify potentially roof tower as being in the Underdark, or if it's just some cave.
Well, it wasn't the mining that Torrid was doing in the Underdark, sort of?
Yeah. Guess
You know my backstory. I was not much of a miner, but would I have been familiar with that?
give me a history
Heck,
with
too old.
advantage.
Was
Yeah.
disadvantage, you said?
With advantage.
Oh, advantage. Okay.
with plus advantage. Not minus.
Yeah.
Hooray for advantage.
So you're like, yeah, that's if that's in the Underdark, it's way down there because of like the way that the the farther you go down, the stone starts to look like denser and whatnot. Like it's a dwarven a dwarven thing of like the stone looks a certain way the further down you go, and the way you see like how that stone is like compressed or like whatnot, you're like, that's way down there. Like that's like drought territory. Like
So it's
down
probably
there.
deeper than the miners would usually go, I assume.
Yeah,
It's-
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe like wild area.
There's also the journal on the nightstand.
Oh, right. I thought.
All right, so we all leave right now. Oh,
That
we go,
journal
"Oh,
can't stop me because I can't read.
this magical
the
window
journal.
is telling us that these towers are common and therefore something we don't have to think about ever again. And then we leave.
And
The
ignore
world
all future
ends. The
towers.
campaign ends.
And
Fast forward.
we
Sadness.
threaten Enoch into taking us to the mushroom cure, and then we go home and retire.
That is, of
Well,
course, your
this
option.
has Dragon Ball. Yeah, the reason I didn't initially go to the journals because I was writing stuff down while you were saying that, so I didn't know if someone else had gone to go, like, just
then,
check that out, and I didn't want to step on their toes.
Then, like 3 weeks later, we get a slightly salty Discord epilogue where just the whole world goes to shit because whatever the overarching big bag is just completely unopposed.
What is
And the
name?
as the DM is describing it, he's sliding in passive-aggressive statements to the party for not doing anything.
Also, sorry, one last thing in this room. There is a bookshelf that's
No.
smaller
Nah.
that has a row of books on it, and there's one book in the middle that is missing.
You guys get. I'm done with bookshelves. I'm gonna go for the journal.
Also, Sam,
Yes,
I think this one might be awarded.
the bookshelf or the journal.
The bookshelf.
Okay, I'm upping.
We simply put the journal back on the bookshelf. and
For the
go
last 5
home.
minutes of the session, you two can talk about if the bookshelf is awarded in a different channel.
No, we won't do that.
Sure, I guess.
That,
I mean,
that
I don't.
that was a joke.
was
Someone's
joking.
gonna read the journal.
I don't
Yeah,
think
let's
the
just read the
bookshelf.
journal.
I don't think the bookshelf.
I
No.
investigate the journal
Okay.
with vim and vigor.
Yeah. So it's written on the cover. On the cover of the journal. There's there's a name written on it. It's really nice, like leather-bound journal. The name is Garruff, Garruff.
Giraffe.
Yes.
Giroof. Oh yes, my name is Garruff.
Yeah, it does look like Garruff.
Garruff.
The Butcher
Yeah.
of Black Veil. No.
I am the butcher of Bark Vale, annihilator of all who stand opposed to me.
The Scranton Strangler. No.
Is there a last name?
Fucking barks every time he tries to say his name.
No. Actually, yes, it's Garruff, Wild Shaper. Wild Shaper. I guess it depends on how you read it. But yeah, as you, leaf through it or whatever, like it seems like it starts. Basically, you kind of go through, and there's a lot of like details of like blah blah blah. Like it's it starts out like as if somebody was starting a journal, so you get through like the meat of all the stuff at the beginning or whatever, like get till like near the end, basically, or where they stopped writing. Like there's extra page. It seems like as you leaf through it, like it's another one of those things of like there's a lot of pages in here that are.
Is it just like alchemy notes and shit?
There's some stuff like that mixed in with different things of like like I find it's like I wrangled an owl bear today, things like that of like it's like it'll be a great addition to the menagerie. I need to it's like although it's gonna be hard to find a copious food supply, but I suppose I can things like notes like that. But eventually near the end, you also see notes where they're talking kind of like smack about some of the other, like he keeps referring, like giving names or whatever that you
for
notice.
the friends.
Yeah, that you through context clues imply they are other probably powerful magic users that this person is in correspondence with, potentially the other people of the towers, like the other towers. And it seems like they have like some kind of like magic like society that they're all members of, and that they've been really building towards this thing that this one second, I gotta look up the name. But he's he's just called Azure, which he notes in his thing that he just refers to him as Azure, which he notes is kind of he thinks is a bit of a pretentious name, but Azure is really excited about this new thing, and he wants all of us to basically come to his tower so we can try to do something that will change the world, for the better, sort of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, this is it's been his wish for a few decades at this point, and I guess we'll appease his curiosity and help him with his project.
Okay, because you had mentioned that the Magic Society was building towards this thing.
Yeah.
And that's what Azure was talking about.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So it seems like they've been doing that, and he says, hopefully it won't be that long of a trip. I just hatched a wormling, and I would love to get back soon so I can, not just leave her here. I think I'll name her Rose.
Does the beginning of the sorry, if you have other things to talk about.
That's like one of the last entries, basically.
Okay. I was gonna ask if the beginning of the journal details like perhaps the origins of like him or the tower at all.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it probably starts out like Gareth Wildshaper, am keeping
I'm gonna
this
start
journal.
keeping a journal because
I'm sorry I asked.
Something like something like that. But he basically be like as you're going through, you can find out that this guy was basically like a super druid, like probably probably one of the most powerful magic users. And the way he and the way he discusses it, and with that, it seems like whenever this was written must have been an incredibly long time ago, because the way they talk about, like, yeah, magic is, so, like, it seems like magic was just a huge part of society, and these guys were just, like, the top-tier dudes, and magic was just kind of, like, a common thing. And, he gives, as you... It might take you a bit to, like, parse through details if you want to continue to read it and glean more insights into, like, what has transpired, but it seems like, yeah, just from, like, history, this had to have been centuries ago, if not, like, a longer. Like, you get the sense that it was pre,
Auspiciously,
Magic
there is no mention of a dragon war.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna ask Sam. You said pre what?
Yeah, like pre-wall, like magic bans on things like that. Like, it seems like in the day and age that this was written, like, magic was like a very common everyday, like, thing that people did.
I feel like people trained in history would probably know that was at some point a thing, right?
Yeah,
This
like
isn't
like 1,000 years ago.
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, back in the day we didn't think magic was bad, and then our opinions changed because bad things happened
Blew
because of magic.
Magic
If you want,
broke the world. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's more like a maybe this happened in the past, but it might just be a tall tale, and the only ones actually that would know would be historians.
Okay, I was gonna say, wait, do we know what the event was that caused everyone to hate magic?
Nope.
Maybe somebody in one of the
Definitely
towers
not.
did something fucky with mushrooms.
Fuck.
Maybe
Those-
their name started with an A or something.
Maybe.
Or an R. That bitch.
Or a B or C or D or E. Wait.
I guess
A
you're right.
or a B or a C.
Okay, well,
The
I'll
entire freaking
I'll
alphabet.
share the idea with everyone. Like, I'll share what I found about Journal here. Be like,
It would seem this tower belonged to a group of extremely powerful magic users. It's possible that the necromancer that we're chasing, or this demon they're in, is part of this society. And their lair that we see through the top window is the same lair mentioned in Ebenclaw's notes.
I think the necromancer might be significantly younger than this. But who knows? Liches. I would like to go over to the bookshelf and see if I can figure out by the organizational structure what book is missing.
Sure. So if you just, like, read, like, the what's on the spines or whatever, basically there's one for each school of magic, and the necromancy one is missing.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured, but I wanted to be sure.
Yes.
One for
So-
each school of magic, you say?
Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
how many books are there then? Besides the
oh,
necromancer.
I'll get back to you on that.
Well, there's got to be one for chronomancy and graviturgy and evocation and.
Well,
you count the number of
mean,
books, and
are
that's
those
where we'll leave
schools?
off.
Maybe some of them are just called this fucky thing that my friend
Like
proposed.
conjuration and abjuration and stuff
Yeah.
like that are schools, but it's
Yes.
like chronergy and blade singing schools.
No, it's abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, evocation, illusion, transmutation.
Hard not.
And then necromancy is missing. So there's 9 total schools. So there'd be 8 books left on the shelf.
This is
And it seems like-
against scribes. The best known school of magic. I don't like that subclass.
I'm looking to see if I would benefit from taking any of these books. Did Enoch remove a ward? He didn't. He said it was warded, right?
We basically Sam said no, so that's not working.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Hmm.
a melee fighter would probably benefit from enchantment.
Yeah, that and evocation. Yeah, no enchantment.
Well, everybody would benefit from evocation. Oh, there's a problem. I blow it the fuck up. Transmutation. That's what I was thinking of. Transmutation. The haste class.
Abjuration, though.
The one that has haste in it. I thought it was enchantment, but it's transmutation.
Can I take a couple of books from the bookshelf to
Enoch
improve my not magic casting?
is looking at kind of sees the books and he like looks over the titles and goes, and he looks at you guys. Goes, I wondered if you guys would be interested in something like this.
Bertold is staring at Abjuration in particular.
Looks like some
Something like
fantastic
what?
firewood.
Is it a high quality bookshelf?
It looks pretty nice.
It's like built into the
Built into the what?
floor.
You're trying to stop me from stealing the bookshelf.
Yes.
It's bolted down, has anti-talon plating.
Get the saw, Rambic!
Yeah, can I take enchantment? Evocation for everyone else.
I don't care about that. I am going well out of my way to make sure we disarm any traps that are non-magical that we possibly can.
All right. Do you stop me from reaching for a book?
I will just stop you and be like, we should check for traps first. And then
I nod.
Who
My hand is
trapped the
still up.
book?
I know. Some
If
people
they're
consider knowledge dangerous, after all.
There are no traps on this bookshelf
Right.
of tomes that would at the time have been considered basic fundamental magic.
I mash my Skyrim take button.
Suddenly Ola has the entire bookshelf.
If you guys want to take the collection of books, feel free. You can divvy them up however you want, but you can also just put them as a collection of books or whatever.
Yeah.
Or books
Except
of each.
necromancy.
Yes, sans necromancy.
All right.
I'm
where
taking
is
the
it?
Abjuration book.
Fake illusion,
Yeah.
because I just think Tora thinks that sounds fun. Cool.
Sure. I'll take the ones that no one else does just to have it.
Franklin would absolutely want to read Illusion, but I don't know if Franklin will ever exist again. So,
It's true.
Franklin
He's
said
never
get-
card.
He's at
well,
the
get
card.
fucked.
Franklin knows not of this one to speak of.
With that,
I have a collection of some magic books in my.
Yeah, I don't really see why people are like, I'm taking this one, I'm taking that one, when it's just like, as long as we don't split the party, whenever we have a rest, someone can say, I start reading this book.
Great.
This is also true.
Like, just because you want to read the evocation book doesn't mean someone else can't also read it later.
Great.
as you guys have acquired these and gained some great insight into the past and what may be to come, you all get a level up. And that is where we will end this week. So we will pick up next time as you guys
Bless,
Bless you.
bless you.
Get out of the tower.
That's going in the recording.